Welcome, foolish mortals.
Our swords from the grave come forth, lift us from the black, and show us the way back. I wonder how those reviewers are doing. Let's see.
Happy... Well, it's not quite Halloween yet, is it?
No, not quite.
But it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah.
So, hiya folks, it's me, Thomas McClelland.
I'm Claire.
And today, well, we thought we'd do a little something special for everyone here.
So, if you might have guessed it, spooky season is just around the corner.
And you know what that means. There's going to be lots and lots of people dressing their houses like haunted mansions.
Exactly.
I love haunted mansions. They're so good, aren't they?
I know, right? They're like big, glorious, gorgeous houses.
And they sort of invoke the feeling of the Gothic aesthetic that a lot of houses had back in the day.
Especially with its skeletal structures, which was the main focus.
And you know who else really loved haunted mansions? Disney. Surprisingly enough.
That's right, folks. We're doing the Haunted Mansion.
Not the ride.
Not the ride.
And not the video game. No, we're doing Show 'em.
That's right, the movie. Let's do this because we know that it's a bit of a piece of shit.
However, the ride that it's based on is not actually a piece of shit.
Yeah, they actually had a lot of working detail into that.
So, for those who don't know, Haunted Mansion, the movie Haunted Mansion is based off the Disney ride. You know, the Disney ride from the Disney Studios and all that, right?
Yeah, I know.
And now that ride came out during the 50s, I believe, right?
I think so.
And it's still in operation today, actually.
And it's still one of the main attractions.
And in fact, there's a Haunted Mansion in every single Disney park all over the world, it feels.
That's true.
And I can understand why, because the attraction is really, really cool, actually.
And let's face it, we all love the spooky stuff.
Who doesn't love a good spook now and then?
I know, right?
However, this was a bit of a weird point in Disney's history. Now, picture for me, Claire, you're a Disney executive. You've just made a big, huge success with that Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and now you're thinking to yourself, what other attractions do we have we can make a movie out of?
And they're like, I know, the Haunted Mansion ride.
Now, on paper, that sounds like a pretty cool idea.
But
In execution, not so much.
it was kind of poorly
Executed.
executed.
Yeah. Which is saying something because the crew's actually pretty top notch. It's got a director that's actually pretty good, and that's Rob Minkoff, the director of Lion King and Stuart Little.
Exactly.
And also, some of the production that they went into the mansion was phenomenal, pretty much.
Like, if you've watched the movie, you know what the mansion looks like. It is glorious, both on an exterior and interior.
And especially with the graveyard scene, which, not surprising, since the makeup was done on a lot of the ghosts and the zombies was done by the phenomenal Rick Baker. And if those who don't know who Rick Baker is, he's the dude that made the best werewolf transformation in American Werewolf in London.
By the way, that's an awesome movie. Please go check out a review on that.
Shameless plug. Okay. But then there's the cast. Let's start with
The main.
Eddie Murphy. Oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to punch him in his perfect teeth.
I know, which is saying something because I like Eddie Murphy personally, actually.
He's a great actor.
And
He
he's
really
a great
is.
comedic. He's a great comedic actor, is what I feel.
And when he's given a good script
That he actually seems to care about.
that he cares about, he's phenomenal. But when he's given a bad script in a movie like this,
He's pretty much phoning it in.
it's phoning it in, and it's the worst type of acting because you can clearly tell when his
He
eyes.
does not want to be there, pretty much.
He's like, just give me my goddamn paycheck.
And whenever he flashes that dumbass smile, like, Eddie, why? Why, Eddie?
God, looks like a donkey with that smile.
Actually, it's weird because
I know,
we did
I know.
Shrek a year ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did another movie a year before this film, The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
he was. The early 2000s was not a good time for Eddie or Disney, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, the early 2000s wasn't good for anyone in general, it seems. But yeah, Eddie's career was in a bit of a slump at that point. Think about it. Pluto Nash, Norbit, Daddy Daycare.
Don't get me started. Oh god.
Thank God he's come back now with a bit of a renaissance, actually.
Thank god. Yeah.
But let's get into it. Now I gotta admit, the opening actually wasn't that bad.
I like the opening, despite the
dated as hell CGI effects.
I thought it was a great opening, a bit of mystery and thriller.
And it's done without dialogue, which is pretty good.
I know, that's the perfect way to start a movie, in my opinion. No dialogue.
Although it makes me wonder, when did the Haunted Mansion take place exactly?
Well,
They say it was like 180 some years ago, which would put it around like 1890 or something.
exactly.
But then again, there's theories that it takes place in 1879
Exactly.
or something like that. Yes.
Oh, hello.
Do you need something?
Our
Molly's part of the review now. So yeah, there's rumors that it's set in 1879 or something like that, because that's when the video game tie-ins set and something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But they don't really explain.
No.
So
I had a feeling that they were trying to leave it as vague as possible for the audience to figure out themselves, but you kind of need to give us some...
the who, what, where, when, and how, it's basic writing 101.
Exactly.
If you leave all that stuff out, no one's gonna really care that much.
Anyways, so the opening happens, and by the way, this scared the shit out of me, the death scene.
Yeah, the dude just hangs himself, man.
And that scream, all that chilled me.
Yeah, I gotta admit, this actually seems like Disney's attempt to be somewhat of a horror film, but they kind of botch it. Next, we see this kid sort of driving his bike up to the gate and everything.
Did you know that that's actually Robert Minkoff's...
Oh yeah, that's Rob Minkoff's nephew.
Yeah, that's his nephew.
Hey, why not? Gotta work with Uncle Rob that day. So we see the house, just...
Basically tell him to fuck off. In a very scary manner.
It is a horror film, makes sense.
And this kid was only handing out these stupid flyers.
Which makes me wonder, who hands out flyers in the middle of what looks like a bayou?
I really wish that they didn't do it like that. I would have changed it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can change about this film.
We'll talk about what we want to change at the end of the review.
And then we see the smiling dumbass himself, Eddie Murphy.
Oh my god, we also see Doyle.
God damn it, Doyle. What are you doing in here?
My god, he's put some weight on. Look at his chubby cheeks. I just want to beach him.
Hey, no fat shaving Doyle. Come on.
I'm not fat shaming him. He looks good.
Of course he looks good. So we see Doyle and his wife there trying to buy this house, which honestly looks okay, I guess.
I think it looks okay.
Yeah, it looks no better than our place. And then Eddie Murphy's kind of hustling them, it feels like.
Are you surprised he's a real estate agent?
Yeah, good point on second thought.
Oh, also fun fact, they mentioned the word divorce in a Disney movie.
That's a first for Disney.
I've never seen a Disney movie do that before.
Speaking of divorce, we then get introduced to his wife. Sorry, bad joke.
So, he's basically talking to her on the phone and pretending it's another buyer.
Oh, great. Let me guess. He's one of those characters that are so overwhelmed with work that they forget to have a social life for their family.
Fuck, what was with Disney in the early 2000s doing that trope? It's a pain in the ass.
They did it like 20 times, it feels, in that year alone, it feels.
It's like, and by that point, it was like already out of date.
It was kind of getting old.
By this point, it's like, oh fuck me, not this again.
Yeah, but then again, this is Disney in the early 2000s. They were in a bit of a rough patch after the Renaissance.
So, he sells these people the house.
And then we go to the most annoying couple of the film.
I feel like strangling this couple. I swear to God, they are too perky for my taste.
Are you surprised? I mean, they're in this fake-ass looking Hawaiian bar setting thing.
It's like those fake Hawaiian bars that you see when you're actually at Hawaii.
Didn't, like, Henry Hill and his buddy Tommy burn this place down in Goodfellas?
Yeah. So, he's trying to get them to sign these paperwork so he can get the fuck out of there, because guess what? Anniversary.
Yeah, anniversary on the day that he's working. What the hell? You didn't take a couple of days to, like, get everything prepared for that?
Like, if he was actually a really good husband, why doesn't he schedule this day off?
I don't know. Anywho, so he's trying to get him to sign a house.
They sing this stupid goddamn song.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy
And he
anniversary.
just snapped. He's like, just sign it.
I don't think that's acting, folks. I think Eddie Murphy's just legit actually tired of this film.
Seriously, with that song, I'm like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna strangle you. Shut the fuck up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Hey, do the review, Claire.
Anyways,
So, he gives them their house, and he signs the thing and all that, and he's about to leave.
when guess what? Another couple happens to hear on them, and they want him to help sell another house.
This dude does a lot of couples, I've noticed. It's kind of does that out, really.
I wish he just gave him his business card and said, just call me.
Yeah, that's what people do. Like, if they're busy, they say, hey, listen, man, I'm busy, but here's my my business card. Call me up later.
Exactly, but no.
This guy's a workaholic, so he's got to do this.
And by the time he gets to the door,
You get the only legit funny scene with him in it, the teddy bear.
this motherfucker thought he could come up to the house on his anniversary late, bring in a stuffed teddy bear and jewelry.
Yeah.
He's a dead man.
You know you've had a problem when the only funny scenes with Eddie Murphy is with a teddy bear. Just saying, you might have a bit of a problem.
So she's pissed, obviously.
Well, obviously, wouldn't you be pissed with him?
Of course I would.
So he's gonna make it up to her by taking her and the kids to their little, kind of like a little summer spot they got.
It's not really summer spot, they go there.
So it's kind of like some people that have like a cabin or something.
They don't have a cabin.
Oh, it's not a cabin. It's just like
A lake.
Oh, it's a lake. Okay, okay. I thought they had like a cottage or something.
No, they probably go to a hotel or something.
Okay, okay, that's fair. So
Anyways,
he goes upstairs. We get some more dated humor when we realize what his son's name is.
Michael Jordan Evers.
Oh God! What was LeBron James taking?
Anyways, so his son, by the way, was in Stuart Little.
Yeah, he's that kid from Stuart Little. He plays Stuart's friend. I mean, he plays George's friend.
Yeah, and he was also in Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2. The kid was like, how'd you do that? You know, exercise, work out, you know, eat your green vegetables.
No wonder he was afraid of spiders.
And he's like, Dad, Spider-Man's in my room again. Which one is it, son? Is it the Tom Holland one? Andrew Garfield?
Tobey Maguire.
Oh, dear God.
Anyways, the son's scared of spiders.
Yeah.
They go in the room. He gives this whole speech about you shouldn't be afraid.
Also, what is up with this kid's room? I see, like, science stuff everywhere, and he's got a Harry Houdini poster for some reason.
Which they don't use later.
Yeah, I know. Like, if you're setting up characters, especially kids, and you're using posters, that poster would come into play later, right?
But no.
No, this kid doesn't like do any magic stuff, and he doesn't seem too interested in science. He's just a generic kid character.
Generic kid's bedroom.
But to be fair, at least this kid's got a bit of an arc to his character, unlike his sister.
Who's a typical teenage girl, so you know she's gonna be on her cell phone.
Like, OMG, I cannot believe they don't have a roaming service around here.
Also, her outfits in this, I'm just gonna say this up straight, hideous.
To be fair, though, this was the early 2000s. Kids were known to have a lot of, weird fashion trends going on.
She's dressing up like she's Britney Spears.
Although, to be fair, do you remember who did the music video for this movie?
Raven
Simone, right?
Yeah.
So I get the feeling that they were kind of pushing for her fashion trend in that film.
No kidding.
Don't worry, we'll get to her later.
The point being,
So he kills the spider.
she kills the spider with a magazine.
A swimsuit limited one also. Hey, he's 10 years old, he's becoming a man. I was like that too.
So then we cut back to the wife. She's on the phone with our mysterious guy.
So wait a second, she's on the phone with the ghosts? How? They're ghosts. They don't seem to have modern technology really, except for that one phone. But that phone right there is the same phone that Alexander Graham Bell probably used.
That phone would not be working. I don't know.
But that's one plot hole out of a sea of a million plot holes.
Point being, he wants her to come to the house alone.
Ladies, when a guy asks you to come to his home alone, do you really think it's going to be just for business?
No, it's sketchy as fuck, don't it?
So, but speaking of idiots, we get Eddie Murphy, and he hears what's going on.
And basically, they go to the house.
because
Just like that.
Also, where the hell is this movie set? Is what I want to know.
Well, actually, if you look at their license plate later when they get to the mansion, it says Louisiana.
Yeah, and it looks like Louisiana with the trees and everything.
And the whole swamp thing going on.
Which makes it probably near New Orleans, maybe.
Which makes sense because that's an area that's been known to have a lot of spooky occurrences.
You know what doesn't make sense though? Why don't they all have southern accents? I mean, we're in New Orleans, New Orleans, or in Louisiana, right? I'm pretty sure they would speak in a southern accent.
I don't get it either.
And also, I'm pretty sure they filmed this actually in California because, boys, that place not like Louisiana. We're like the million bugs that are trying to eat you. And alligators.
I know, right? They're in a swamp. There should be millions of bugs trying to keep you alive.
But no. Anywho, they get to the mansion with the gate. That's a nice-ass gate.
By the way, the lock is on the outside.
Who locks it?
Who locked it?
Well, it would make sense, I guess, if they included the caretaker character from the original ride and everything.
Well, they didn't. He's not even in here. He's just a quick cameo.
Yeah, but we'll get to that later.
Stop taking my feet.
So, somehow the gate opens by itself, and they're not at all creeped out by this?
They go in anyway.
Eddie, you made this joke years ago in the 80s for crying out loud. You know what I noticed? White people never leave their homes in horror films. It's like, you know, baby, I like it here. The kids like it here, the schools are great, the neighbors are great. I think we're really gonna enjoy it. It's too bad we can't stay though. Let's go.
Yeah, like, why can't you just leave? Anyways, that's not the point. They get to the house. And by the way, gorgeous.
It is a really nice looking house, I will give you that.
Seriously, I would live there.
I looked it up. They said they based the look of the house on 3 main things, actually.
Which one?
So they based it off of, you know, the gothic looking houses that you've seen in like those gothic novels and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I know.
And they also based it off of Italian Renaissance styles houses.
Mm-hmm.
And thirdly, and this is important, they based it off of a house that's been known to look really creepy, Dutch colonials.
That's true, yeah.
Like the famous Amityville horror house.
We're not going to get into that.
But yeah, that's why the house looks like it almost has a face, because Dutch colonials are known to have that.
And they check out the backyard.
And
it's a cemetery.
They got cemeteries.
That is a big ass cemetery, by the way. And according to the thing, there's 999 souls trapped in that house.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently. That's what it says.
That's what it says in some sources. I have to look, like the video game and other versions.
So we just gotta wonder, like, how the hell is there so many people here?
Well, I assume that some of the people that are buried are the people that lived here, or maybe like guests or something.
And I've even speculated that it's even the people that were at that ball in the beginning opening.
Or it could be people that trespassed on that land, probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, people are sometimes always going into like abandoned places to film.
Yeah, I would never do that. Yeah. Okay, maybe.
Anyways.
Or it could be another alternative.
Slaves.
It is Louisiana, and the house does look like an old southern plantation in a way.
And it's a black family.
Actually, I'm kind of glad that they chose that the main characters would be black in this, because actually it's kind of a nice little default.
Yeah, I know, right? It's nice to see. Like,
also, you're in Louisiana, like half the population is black here, pretty much. Makes sense. But do they do anything clever or commentate on it or anything?
No.
They don't even bring up the fact that slavery and race is a little thing because it's Disney. You can't have another Song of the South kind of scenario here going on.
That's not
So we zippity-doo-dah over into the house. I'm sorry.
So they get inside the house. Also, I really think this house is like, it was where the Addams family would live.
Yeah, it does look like somewhere the Addams family would live. In fact, I'm pretty sure Morticia isn't around, just out of curiosity.
I bet they would have picked this house in an instant.
It's horrifying.
It's hideous.
It's home.
Anyways, so then we meet Ramsley.
Yes, Terrence Stamp. I gotta admit, it looks like Terrence Stamp is the only actor who's legit happy he's on set, pretty much.
And it's like, gee, I wonder who the villain is.
It couldn't possibly be the creepy British-sounding old albino, pretty much.
Oh, by the way, his voice is hilarious.
I do love his voice. Sono Heavens. I mean, I hate to bring up other people, but yeah, he does kind of sound basically like a yodeling dog, basically.
So then Ramsley takes them to the dining room. Again, this house is gorgeous.
They got a big room. I love
Look at that fireplace, man.
the fireplace, the long table, the chairs that go up to here pretty much, and the suit of armors that greet you as you go inside pretty much.
I know, those suits of armor are from like different...
I looked it up. A lot of those armors are from different countries and different timelines actually. I'm seeing some Swiss guards. I think I saw a Spartan armor.
I think I saw like some Arabian armor.
No, it's not Arabian. It's Indian Rajput, I believe.
That's true.
And also some, of course, medieval knights and everything.
And then later in the film, there's a suit of samurai armor.
Which never gets used, and they had to cut out his scene, actually.
I wish they had that in.
That would have been so cool, man.
So,
They're in the dining room.
They're checking out the fireplace. By the way, it's gorgeous again.
Man, you could put a whole chicken rotisserie style thing going on there. A rack of ribs.
A thing of turkey.
Maybe some pork bellies and some beef sides.
That would be awesome.
And
then we meet Edward Gracie.
I gotta admit, we're in Louisiana and they have British accents for some reason.
Colonialism.
Of course. Although it's weird, if they settled the house in the 1890s, wouldn't that mean they were just like British aristocrats that bought the land?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, he was British.
Yeah, I can see why. He's kind of got that sort of Lord Byron kind of sex appeal, The open shirt, the wavy hair, the sort of dark, solemn eyes, all that stuff. He looks basically like a character you would have seen from an Edgar Allan Poe novel, probably.
Actually, yeah, he would.
Which makes me wonder, does he not remember that it's like 2003 outside? People don't dress like that anymore, Ramsey. Nobody wears a cravat anymore. Like, come on, Gracie, can't you wear I don't know, a suit? Maybe
like a dress shirt.
Dress shirt, a jacket.
And some dress
pants. Apparently not.
Anyways, the point being. Also, he's really cheerful.
Yeah, he's cheerful for a ghost that committed suicide. Just saying.
I think the reason why he's actually this cheerful is because she's back.
So now with her back, he feels like his joy's come back.
Exactly.
Which makes me wonder, why does he want to sell this house? I mean, we know why, so he can get close to her, but why the subterfuge?
Sorry?
Well, they mentioned something about how there's been disturbances lately at the house. Which makes me wonder, are the ghosts getting a little rambunctious out there?
I wouldn't be surprised, wouldn't you be, if you were trapped in this house for nearly 200 years?
I'm telling you one thing, I wouldn't be Casper the friendly ghost after 100 years being there. I'd be Casper the pissed off ghost.
So, basically, they're having dinner, and then unfortunately, bad news.
The storm has swollen the river. Oh, Terrence Stamp, never change.
Oh, listen.
Yeah. He'll always be my General Zod. No offense, Michael Madsen. Or Michael, whatever his name is.
So basically, they're now trapped in the house, and they have to stay there during the night.
How convenient.
They do get gorgeous bedrooms, though.
Oh, hell yeah. You wouldn't expect anything less at this place.
I know. Also, he's carrying those candles. Note of fact, those would be very heavy.
I'm surprised no wax is dripping on.
It's like, oh, fuck, crap, shit.
I mean, to be fair, he's a ghost, and it's clearly established he has the strength of 10 men, apparently.
I know. I know. It's just...
Yeah. And then we get some unfunny Eddie Murphy moments, and then he ends up pissing off his wife, pretty much.
Well, wouldn't you be? He promised her that he was going to go on a family vacation with the kids.
And then he insinuates that it's okay as long as he just keeps bringing expensive gifts to his family all the time. Dick move, dude.
Dude, he just called his wife a gold digger.
Okay, so then Ramsey shows up out of nowhere, pretty much. Because we have to get those cheap, lazy jump scares in the movie somehow.
Hey, when I was a kid, I was frightened.
I guess, but it's like the laziest form of scares you can give someone, pretty much. It's like the equivalent of going boom to the camera.
Anyways. So, Ramsey tells Gracie wants to talk with him in the library. So they go to the library.
They got a nice-ass library, also.
And that's where we find the suit of armor, which they don't use.
And also, wait, is that an elephant tusk?
Oh.
And an ostrich skeleton?
Oh, God.
And a rhino horn? You bastard, that's the reason they're almost extinct now. Except Ryan, he is extinct now. And here's something I want to know. What do we know so much about Gracie from what Ramsey tells him?
That he likes art, literature, and beauty. That is very vague.
So he's basically a fop by the sounds of him.
Pretty much.
So basically I kind of like the scene actually for one reason alone. We kind of get the feeling that Ramsey might be a little,
He's racist. I'm saying this. He's a racist.
It's basically hinted that he is basically very racist, probably.
Well, think of, like,
The time
period that he came from.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of theories that this house was built just after the Civil War.
So, you gotta imagine that Disney, you can't cloud over this.
Oh, yes they can. Believe me, they did with Princess and the Frog.
Let's not go there. Anyways.
So
basically he says a very interesting line, for I fear the very worst. What does that mean? Is the house literally on the verge of collapsing?
I mean, if the house is connected to basically the spirit of Gracie, then wouldn't that mean that his mood or his emotional state affects the house in some way?
It does.
And if he's, depressed that he can't be with his love, that means that it's probably going to go down eventually.
It isn't a swamp, so I wouldn't be surprised that it's literally sinking into the mud.
It'd be nice if the film showed us that, but they're not interested in that apparently.
So basically Ramsley leaves him in the library to talk with Gracie. We talk to the kids.
Yeah, I really feel like the kids don't add much to the film.
They don't. And of course, since she's a teenager, she's trying to get her phone to work.
My girl, do you not know where you are? You're in the middle of a friggin' swamp in Louisiana.
Just crack open a book or something.
Could you not be bared to look? So, we cut back to Eddie Murphy, and this is the only time we actually see him being funny, actually, when he's doing his faux British accent. Oh, yes, Ramsey, give the gentleman some Chardonnay. Oh, yes, I just returned from the continent. I've seen an interesting book called Raising the Dead. Oh, crap. And we're back to Eddie Murphy phoning it in.
Then he discovers a secret door.
Hey, stop doing the head thing, man. You're gonna break it.
I know, right? That's an old mechanism. Stop fucking around. And like you do, he goes in and the lock's behind him.
I never know how they did that. Is that was Ramsey maybe, controlling that thing?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or did he not put the candle back?
I want to think that sometimes the mechanism, it has two-way, right? So obviously it is connected with the head. But I think that there's like a tile on the floor where Eddie Murphy would be standing.
So it'd be a pressurized thing.
Exactly.
Probably.
So that way it closes itself and the head's put back in place.
So he gets trapped in there. We see him walking through a hallway of famous pictures and everything that would be in the ride and all that. Like the lady with no skin, pretty much. And the picture of Napoleon on the Alps turning into
basically a skeleton on a flesh horse.
So death. And then he sees a door that's expanding in and out, and he thinks it's termites. I'm like, what kind of termites do you know that are that big?
I don't know any in the world that would be that big. And there's also like the sculpting heads that are turning and looking at him.
Oh dear God, it's my worst enemy, Claire. Dated, shitty looking CGI.
Let's not go there. Anyways.
And also, we'll get to the mirror in a minute, but let's cut back to the kids for a minute because the movie thinks we should cut back to them for some reason.
So then we have the boy,
Michael.
He's looking around.
Hey, I'd looking around too if I was in a place like this.
He brushes his
head with a little comb. He opens up a little music box.
That is a big music box, by the way. It's literally like that big.
But unfortunately, it summons another piece of shitty CGI.
The ghost ball.
The flaming ghost testicle, I think, yeah.
So he and his sister go follow it.
And we get some shitty acting from Megan as well. Look, let's follow it. I'm acting. You can tell.
Are you kidding me? When I saw that thing floating, it made me terrified.
You'd think so, but these kids apparently have never seen a giant flaming ghost testicle up close, I guess.
Anyways, so we cut back to Eddie Murphy.
And then we get actually a pretty scary scene, actually.
A phone.
Not just any phone. an old sort of, Alexander Graham Bell type of phone.
Those phones would not be operational, so the fact that it's ringing is actually really scary.
And he picks it up, and it's apparently Ramsey that was ringing him.
Yeah, and he ghosted him. I can't stop. Anyway, so then he gets spooked by a raven or a crow.
I think it's a crow,
I think it's a crow because ravens are a lot bigger than...
No, crows are bigger.
No, crows are bigger,
yeah,
right.
ravens are a lot smaller, actually. And then he looks over at a mirror, and then this crow scares him. He looks in the mirror.
And,
Jesus. He turns into basically some sort of decaying corpse, pretty much.
Of himself.
Yeah, Disney, where you'll see yourself turning into a decaying corpse.
And then he drops the candlestick.
And he looks up and he's, crap, it's back to Eddie Murphy.
And then we come back to the kids, and they decide to get in a creaky, probably not safe elevator.
Do you not know elevators, kids? Those things will usually just break down and probably kill you.
Well, the brother had it right. He's trying to get the fuck out of there, and his sister's like, no, let's go.
But then we cut to the wife suddenly. There's a lot of weird cuts in this movie, and the transitions are kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah, a little.
Look, I get it. It's a big head. You want to show all the characters, but you can do it a little slower, you know?
So basically, the wife, Sarah, she finds a servant who's working there.
Yeah, does she not question, hey, why are you dressed like it's like 1890 or something like that?
Anyways, she asks, have you seen my husband? She fucks right off, doesn't even answer her.
Now, why is that, you reckon?
I have a feeling that Ramsley said you're not allowed to speak with her.
So he told the other servant ghost not to speak to her, basically, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so she goes downstairs, bumps into Ramsey. Damn, Ramsey, why do you always gotta be bumping into people like that?
So basically he tells her, oh yeah, he's in the library.
But oh dear, sexy Mr. Gracie is in the library.
And she says like that line from everything. He's like, oh hell yeah.
I want to go to bed with you. Wow.
And she stumbles into these books, which are on the floor.
Who leaves the books on the floor?
Put them there, come on.
God damn it, Gracie. Clean up after yourself. No wonder Ramsey's pissed off at you.
So basically, he's flirting with her.
He's totally
flirting with her. Come on, there's no other way of like saying this gently.
No, he's a sexy man, so why not?
Sexy on dead man. Sexy man.
So it's kind of like Living Dead Girl, but it's Living Dead Guy. Alright.
So basically, he gives her a bit of
a history lesson. Apparently, this house used to be like a big sort of hoorah where rich white people could come to enjoy themselves.
Pretty much.
But
and then she came.
Elizabeth.
And he basically starts to tell her that it's because of her that
the place is haunted.
The place is haunted.
Because I think it's hinted that Gracie's grandfather, which by the way is totally Gracie.
It's just
spoiler alerts for a movie that nobody really cares about anymore.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we already saw that he hung himself. We know he's dead.
If you show that he already hung himself, we already know who it is. It kind of relieves the tension a little.
Anyways.
But why did he hang himself? He wanted to marry her, right?
Yeah.
And they were gonna possibly leave together, but then he got a note, which was an apparent suicide note.
We're not gonna get into this one.
And, well, he found that she had poisoned herself.
And so he was so grief-stricken that he hung himself.
And they say you can still hear his heart beating ever so slowly from the holes almost. Which would have been cool, actually, if they actually did something like that. I think they kind of did with the door, but not really a lot, really.
Not really. Anyway, so we cut back to Eddie.
Who's now meets another character from the ride, pretty much.
Madame Leota.
Played by Jennifer Tilly?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind Jennifer Tilly's in this. Like, I actually think she's a very funny actress, and she's pretty good at poker for some reason. But I kind of miss, like, the original Madame Leota they got from the ride, actually, you know?
That was actually the voice actress who did both
Maleficent. Was that her?
Maleficent, if you would let me finish. And the Evil Queen from Snow White. She did both.
And she also played the stepmom from Cinderella, right?
Yep.
Wow. That's actually pretty cool. Because actually she does kind of omit a sort of charismatic kind of weirdness to her character, pretty much.
I loved her as Maleficent. She's my all-time favorite evil.
You're the one guy with Angelina Jolie, anyways.
I'm not gonna get into that one. That one pissed me off. Anyways, back to the...
So we get Madame Leota here, who's a fortune teller and stuff like that. And unfortunately,
they use a lot of stereotypes here.
They use the very derogative term gypsy instead of Romani, so we apologize in advance.
We're gonna say Romani, but they keep calling her a gypsy.
Not right.
So basically, she pulls up a chair for him to sit.
Well, more like pulls him into the chair, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she basically tells him, yeah, you're in deep shit right now.
I mean, to be fair, she was planning on getting dark spirits on her. Dark spirits? Hell no, you keep those dark spirits away now. Come on.
And then she lifts the table up and everything's flying around the room with him still floating in the chair.
And we get some of them more horrendous CGI effects, pretty much. Seriously, what the fuck? This came out around the same time as Lord of the Rings, for crying out loud.
And basically after he got spooked, he gets the fuck out of there.
As you would.
And then he gets chased by basically a marching band.
A whole marching band, which is okay and everything, but I don't really find it particularly scary.
I would have done something else with it.
What would you have done?
Well, in the beginning opening, they have tarot cards.
Oh yeah?
I would have liked it if they used the tarot cards where the figures in the cards literally come out of the cards and chase him down the hall.
Well, they had planned to do something kind of like that, but the problem was it would have been too expensive to do, probably.
Well, like, can't you imagine, like, Death, like, on his
horse and his scythe?
Horse with his scythe, and he's chasing him down the hall?
Hell yeah.
With, like, maybe, like, the lovers and the destruction tower and all that? That'd be so cool.
The only thing scary about this scene is the fact that they're using the same lighting from Suspiria, it looks like. So, we get him running from the thing, he gets to the attic, where we see that the kids had met these ghost servant guys. Played by, well, I forget the lady's name, she's been in a lot of stuff that I remember. And the main servant ghost, played by my boy, Wallace Shawn.
Inconceivable.
Yes, it is inconceivable, Wallace, that you're in this, but here you are.
And they don't really say their names in this, but in the thing, his name is Ezekiel.
Oh, I think it was Ezer.
His name was Ezer, her name is Emma.
Makes sense, I mean, from that time period. And we kind of get the feeling that they're trying to help them out, but Ramsey's keeping them underneath his thumb and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's a deleted scene in the film, actually, where it actually would have explained how the kids know that they're ghosts, actually.
And how long they've been in the house.
Basically, there's a scene where Emma explains that they're ghosts by floating in the air and all that, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And Ezra cries because they've been basically kept in this house for like 180 years or something like that.
And they were actually close friends with Elizabeth.
She was the only person that treated them all right, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, they cut that out because apparently they don't want us to feel any sympathy for the characters, I guess.
At least she gave them cookies.
Yeah, those are some good cookies. We have to get some cookies afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright. So, Eddie Murphy's freaking out. He's like, hey, listen, they're not ghosts, right? It was the chicken man. It was right, right?
And she's like, hey, it's not the chicken.
Alright, it's not the chicken.
She's like, I just spit hours on the chicken.
I've been working all day, you ungrateful jackass.
To anyone who actually cooks their chicken, you know how hard it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
So appreciate it. We gotta get chicken. Anyways.
And he wants to get the hell out of here, but they're basically like, Dad, Mom's in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Show me.
So then they lead him up to the attic where they were, and
there's a portrait.
Oh, fuck.
It's Elizabeth, and she just so happens to look like Sarah. How convenient.
Now, we've been trying to figure out how exactly...
Well, you got two options. It could be either a reincarnation or a descendant, I guess.
But we don't really see any other...
I mean, we never knew if Elizabeth had any siblings or something, so it can't be a descendant.
So it's definitely a reincarnation.
It must be a reincarnation somehow. Or maybe it's just random chance, because it turns out she's not Elizabeth very much.
Well, actually there are a lot of people who look alike.
Oh, totally. I mean, there's that infamous picture where Nicolas Cage looks like that dude from the Civil War, girl.
Or
Keanu Reeves looking like that one guy. I forget who it was. Yeah, I think it was Charlemagne.
Yeah. Anyways, so then we cut back to Ramsey. To
Gracie.
To Gracie and Sarah.
And he's still just taking her through the attic and so like, is she not bored yet with this story? She's like, yeah, that's nice. Say, where's my husband, by the way?
It's like, yeah, I gotta find my husband.
Just saying.
Your story's really cool, but I kinda need to get to bed. It's late.
It's like 12 o'clock in the... It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, for God's sakes.
So, the gang, I'm going to call them the gang. The gang's back at Madame Leota's. And she basically shows them that, yeah, this guy's just trying to get cheeky with his wife.
Boy, another dated joke.
Well, you can't say fuck.
It's a Disney. You can't say fuck in a Disney film. Unless you're Wilford Brimley in that one Star Wars thing.
Also, Eddie, you need to get your priorities straight here.
The dude's trying to bang your wife, man. Come on.
It doesn't matter if the house isn't for sale. The priority is getting your wife and get the hell out of here.
But how do they get the hell out of here? What does Madame Leota say now?
Well, Madame Leota, she says they have to find the key. This key holds the truth that will break the spell.
Exactly.
But the only way to get the key is to get outside to
the crypt, right?
Crypt.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's no way out.
There's no way out. But then Ezra, he says,
well, there's always my way.
By the way, I love this ride. It's a kick-ass ride.
I'm surprised that isn't a part of the ride at Disneyland.
So basically, they take off to the cemetery where we see the
only thing from the ride in this scene, pretty much, the ghosts.
By the way, it's not even like under 2 minutes of screen time for these guys.
So you made a whole movie about a theme park ride, and you don't include the part of the ride that made it fun. Why?
Oh, we also get that cameo from the
crypt, from the crypt
groundskeeper.
The groundskeeper guy, yeah, with his dog and everything. Actually, most of these ghosts are based a lot of the ghosts from the ride. Actually,
that's true.
The head guy,
the skeleton face guy,
the dude, the crossbow, the duelers, the king and queen on the little seesaw thing.
My only problem is that they don't have the axe murdering bride.
No, they do not. They had plans to put her in, but I guess they never could. Although it is hinted that her dress is the dress that Elizabeth wears, technically. And we get also another dated joke saying, Dad? Yep. I see dead people.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah. Back when we thought M. Night Shyamalan was going to be the next Spielberg.
So then they're trying to find the mausoleum, which has the crypt. And then we bump into another
part from the rides that they butchered in this. The barbershop hits, as I like to call them.
By the way, the guys who were singing for the singing heads were actually a barbershop quartet.
Yeah, they were the current barbershop quartet guys that actually did the voices for them on the ride at the time.
Exactly, so it's
That's
nice
a
to
nice
see
little detail. And their singing's actually pretty alright, pretty much.
Even though, like, it's kind of annoying.
It gets really annoying really quickly.
So basically, they find the mausoleum.
Oh boys, this mausoleum is scary.
Fucking A.
It's got the flame coming out, it's got the spider webs, it's got these crows. Yeah.
And the Latin phrase that says, where all who enters, here lies the passage to the dead.
Nope.
And the kid's like, nope, fucking off.
I mean, to be fair, that'd be me in that scenario. Like, hell no, I don't want to be with that.
And so Eddie decides to go alone.
We're gonna call him Eddie also, just to let you know, because we're not gonna call him Jim, because he's just basically Eddie in this.
Yeah, his name of the thing is Jim Evers, so we didn't say that earlier, but...
Yeah, he's just Eddie in this.
It's just Eddie.
So we goes down to the crypt, and we see something interesting that I always wondered. We see Ramsey is spying on him through Madame Leota and everything like that. And we see that there's that same crow right there. I always wondered, does Ramsey use the crows as kind of like spies or something like that?
Well, it's like the thing with both Edgar Allan's...
Oh yeah, it's like a reference to Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And Edgar Allan Poe used ravens because, according to Norse myths, Odin would use his ravens, Hugin and Munin, to spy on everyone, pretty much.
Which is basically sight and...
Memory and
foresight.
Exactly. And if, as anyone who's played God of War 2018, you know how hard those guys were to kill, pretty much.
Every second.
It's been hours trying to throw that axe out.
So, he gets down there. By the way, it's very obvious it's the one in the middle.
Yeah, which one could it be? Could it be the obvious big, gigantic black crypt right in the middle of the room?
You might as well put a neon saying here, stupid, or Beetlejuice.
Sorry.
Anyways, So his daughter scares the crap out of him with a jump scare.
Yeah, why is she even in this movie? She's only there just to be the ex machina for the film. Because apparently she can read Latin, apparently.
Apparently she studied Latin for 3 years.
Honestly, if you cut her out, would you even care?
No.
Seriously, if you cut her out and just gave that Latin backstory thing to the boy, nothing would have changed.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anywho, they open up the crypt and see, actually, I gotta admit, I kind of like these zombie skeletons because at least we get to see more Rick Baker's designs here.
Oh, I think it's just so creepy, like when he's born in the feet, you hear that squelching.
Oh, God, no. I always wonder though, whose body is that, you reckon?
Come on, it's gotta be Gracie's.
So I take it though that the ghost is basically Gracie's spirit, but the body is just his decaying corpse pretty much.
And I like to think that since his spirit is not in
the body
anymore, his corpse is basically a walking zombie.
Kind of like how zombies were portrayed in the Serpent and the Rainbow in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So since these bodies don't have a soul, they're basically like kill.
Yeah, not good. And speaking of kill, they rise from the dead.
Yep.
And they're gonna tear Eddie Murphy apart pretty much.
And the fucking idiot drops it through the grate and it ends up in the water below.
Yeah, I'm sorry, if it drops in the water, it's gone.
It's gone. Like, you don't know how deep that water could be. Or what's in there.
It's very well lit though for some reason.
I would have liked it if, as he's entering the mausoleum, lights started flicking on like that.
Hey, come on, the movie's not made of money here. So, anywho, him and his daughter get scared by the zombies, they get the key, and they're gonna try and get out, basically, right?
But the door slams shut.
Ah, damn it.
And before the kid,
Michael can open
the door, spiders.
Yeah, spiders make sense.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have a bit of arachnophobia, and seeing those spiders is like, no.
So, because we set up that the kid was scared of spiders in the beginning, he has to go for the arc of opening the door and getting them out.
And facing his fear.
I mean, at least it's something rather than nothing.
True.
So he opened...
Then he has spiders all over him.
Oh god, he's like Alfred Molino from Raiders of the Lost Ark, basically.
Hey, and then later he'll play
Doc Ock and fight against
Spider-Man.
And both those dudes were in the same movie. Conspiracy.
Anyways, so they get the key. They take it back to Madame Leota, and he's like, "Okay, now where's the door?" And she's like, "Not door, trunk."
Wait, what? Trunk?
No.
Hey, not door?
Not door, trunk.
God damn it! I have to find the junk in the trunk now. What the hell?
And she's like, "Look, I just would." What is she, like some kind of goddamn employee speaking that line? Come on.
My lady, you are a literal head in a glass bowl, pretty much. So Eddie just has enough of this BS.
He picks her up
That's
and
a
he's
big
like,
ball, by the way.
it has to fit her head.
I guess it has to fit Jennifer Tilly's head, but like, what is the average size of a crystal ball, you reckon?
That big.
That big, and yet this is like, oh.
Well, our skulls are big.
Okay, anywho, so.
Anyways.
They bring him up to the attic and everything.
And they find the trunk.
You know, for a haunted mansion, it's really kind of small. I feel like we've only been in like 5, maybe 6 rooms in this entire goddamn film.
You can't show all the rooms, you don't have time for that. Point being, he opens the trunk and he finds the letter.
The real letter that Elizabeth wrote.
And it basically says, "I will marry you. I will love you forever."
So she didn't kill herself. Now, who could it possibly be?
Again, obvious bad guy alert. It's Ramsey.
It's Ramsey, and we get the butler did a joke, basically. Seriously, this joke was even lame when they did it in the fucking Clue movie. Although, to be fair, that was Tim Curry, so yeah.
So then, he basically explains his motives.
Apparently, he was racist, and he didn't want Gracie and Elizabeth to hook up together and everything.
Because he's a racist. He doesn't like black chicks.
And so, he poisoned her, she died, and...
Basically, the curse was made.
So that nobody could ever leave now, pretty much.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
And so, he traps the kids in the box.
And he's basically got Eddie Murphy by the throat and throws him out the window.
He would have died.
You'd think so. Yeah, he is thrown out the window, he lands on the greenhouse thingy, and then he lands on his car on his back. Yeah, I'm sorry, his bones have been shattered like glass afterwards.
Yeah, he would have been basically a fleshy sack of broken bones.
Broken bones and shame, pretty much.
Like, he fell from the attic to the ground.
That's almost like 12 feet.
That's like 5 stories up.
Almost, yeah.
There's no way anybody could survive that.
But somehow he survived.
And of course he's locked out.
And by this point, Gracie pretty much reveals that, hey, it's me. I'm your dead baby daddy and all that, pretty much.
No, just love her.
Yeah, pretty much.
And basically scares the crap out of her, and she goes back to her room.
Yeah, and Gracie's the same Ramsey, but she doesn't remember.
He's like, she doesn't remember. It can't be her. And he's like, no, it's her. It's totally not.
Gracie's kind of a dumbass, isn't he?
Yeah, let's not go there. Anyways.
So Gracie basically threatens her, marry the master, or I'll have your kids suffocate to death in a trunk.
Pretty much.
Also, that's a big-ass trunk to hold 2 big kids in there.
They were big back in the day.
I guess, but damn! How would they not get, like, squished and squeezed in every direction?
Anyways.
So Eddie's trying to get in after, like, almost what feels like just 2 minutes worth, pretty much.
He barely even tried getting in.
Yeah, he's like, he got bored halfway through. He's like, who cares?
And then somehow Madame
How did she get outside?
How did she get outside? She's a fucking head in a crystal ball.
And we've clearly established that nobody can get outside with Ramsey and everything, pretty much.
And she kept screaming about how fragile she is.
Like, did she levitate all the way down? Because that's just a plot hole and a half right there.
Well, she kind of levitated the room.
So, she gets up there, she gives us some generic speech about not giving up and all that.
Basically, he then takes his car and rams it through the...
Yeah, the car that he complained that his daughter slammed too hard, and now he's just perfectly comfortable with just driving right into the house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Consistency? What's that?
Also, not the piano.
You destroy the piano, you monster!
Alright, so he's on his way to rescue his wife in a kind of Shrek style.
Speaking of which, I like the fact that we get to see the wedding and everything.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a pretty okay wedding.
Even if they're trying to play Wagner on an organ, which I hate to tell you, Wagner is not the right stuff to play on an organ, pretty much.
The piano, and he just crashed his car right through it.
You monster. So we get Ramsey going, why's she crying? Tears of joy.
Do those look like tears of joy to you?
You can trust little old me.
Also, what is that outfit he's wearing?
Yeah, that doesn't look like a priest outfit. It looks like something I would have wore for D&D or something like that, pretty much.
It looks like a cult outfit.
Yeah, pretty much. And so Eddie has to save his kids. They're trapped in the little box thing and everything.
And the armor comes to life.
Which is actually kind of cool if you only get just 1 minute's worth of fight scene on it. And for some reason, Eddie is able to catch an axe in mid-air.
Bullshit.
That is literally impossible.
Bullshit.
And then, so we get back to the wedding. I gotta admit, the wedding dress on Elizabeth is pretty alright, but what the hell is Gracie wearing?
I don't know.
That doesn't look like a groom's thing. That looks like a hussar outfit.
Anyways, so she's about to take a sip of the poison chalice.
And of course we get the classic line, does anybody object to this wedding?
And crashes through. Yeah, I got a few objections.
Although to be fair, it is Murphy. Shouldn't he go like, I object?
You should have just done that.
I'm sorry, they didn't want to get sued by reworks. So,
Anyways.
they're about to leave, but then Gracie's like, oh hell no you don't.
They should have duped it out at this part of the movie.
Although, how does the fight scene between them work? I mean, he's dead and a ghost, and he's just a normal dude.
I know, so it's kind of not fair.
Although he'd be kind of like, now listen, whoa, just listen to me. I'm trying to tell you something. Hold still.
Basically, he gives him, the real letter.
Yep. And you've been caught, Ramsey, pretty much.
Cat's out of the bag, and he basically
Just confesses, yeah. I'll get admit though, I do like the speech that Terrence Stamp gives when he's finally caught out and everything.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I did my best to protect you. I just sacrificed everything for duty and honor. What would you know about honor? You loved her. Well, damn you. Damn you all to hell!
Basically, rogue spirits then break through the windows and start scaring the living shit out of everybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the fireplace opens up and all hell breaks loose.
Literally. Although we don't get the devil coming out of there.
It's a dragon.
We get some sort of weird fire dragon thing. It's Mushu! It's Mushu! Just saying.
Anyways, he grabs
Ramsey.
Ramsey grabs
Eddie.
and they get dragged to the fireplace.
Also, did that fire hiss, apparently?
I don't want to.
It totally hissed. You know what would have been cool, though? Instead of the dragon coming out, what if it was sort of like a fiery version of that creature from the Night of Bold Mountain kind of thing?
I know, right?
That would have been so cool.
I know. Then it's just like his hand grabbing him.
And he drags him to hell, basically. And somehow, Eddie Murphy apparently also has the strength of 10 men because he's able to hang on with just one hand.
On marble.
That is impossible.
So Ramsley gets dragged to hell.
Bye, Terrence Stamp. You were the funnest part in this movie. I'll miss you.
Greasy pulls Eddie up. The fireplace basically puts itself back together again, which we don't see.
I'm sorry. On the budget. Can't show that.
But unfortunately, poison.
Oh, man. She poisoned everything.
Also, he doesn't really react to somebody who is losing somebody very dear to them.
Shouldn't he be like on his knees begging and pleading with her not to die and crying and everything?
And screaming hysterical and sobbing.
But no, he's basically just like, honey, come on, don't do that. We got dinner plans at 5:30, come on.
He basically acts like that. It's sad.
I know, like, Eddie, we're paying you a lot of money to do this. Could you maybe emote a little?
And when he's like saying, Sarah, I love you, I'm like,
I don't buy it for a second.
I'm not buying it.
I don't buy it for a second.
And the ghost ball shows up and
Yep.
it plants itself into Sarah.
And plot twist, guess who it is?
It's Elizabeth.
Well, how convenient.
I do love the shot they show of the opening of heaven, though.
That's pretty cool, yeah. And we get to hear the actors actually speaking their native British accent, pretty much.
Yeah, the actress who played Sarah Evans.
Well, she's British, yeah.
She's British.
Yeah, pretty much. And now she's basically like, oh, thank you for releasing me, blah, blah, blah.
And they totally make out.
Yeah, he's tonguing the hell out of your wife there, Eddie.
I think I saw a little bit of ass grab.
Oh, no, don't grab her my wife's ass.
And it's right in front of the kids, too. The kids are like,
dude, Dad, he's totally making out with Mom.
like, that must be really awkward to see.
But
You're
no.
seeing, like, your mother making out with, like, another man that's not your dad.
That awkward moment where you see your mom getting nailed by someone else.
It's basically having a stepdad.
Kind of. So, anywho, we get, so he's like, hey, that's my wife, man.
It's like,
and she turns back into
Sarah.
What if it was funny if she just like, oh, she's still dead, god damn it. But no, this is a Disney movie, so we can't have that.
And she comes back to life. They hug it out. They don't even say, I love you and I'm sorry to each other. What the fuck?
Yeah, they were divorced just waiting to happen, pretty much.
I know, right?
And Eddie Murphy's like, I'm here, sir. I'm here. Except after Pluto Nash. It's a long way up from that, pretty much.
Let's not go there. We're almost at the end of this movie. So basically, Gracie then gives them the deed to the house, which they can do whatever to.
Well, he's just gonna give them the deed.
Really?
Isn't there gonna be like a whole list of lawyers that are gonna try and like, hey, no you don't.
Also, how are you gonna sell the place? It has literally 999 graves. You're not gonna be able to sell this place.
That's gonna be a whole team of lawyers to go through, probably.
Do you know what would be really cool if they actually turned the house into a historical site? Like
That would
they
be
do with
cool.
some haunted places.
Hey, then it could tie in with the Haunted Mansion theme ride also.
Eh?
But we don't. Instead, they go to heaven in, I gotta admit, the dress that they got Elizabeth wearing kind of looks an awful lot like Belle's from Beauty and the Beast somewhere.
And Gracie kind of does look like Beast.
Except without the long hair and everything.
Just give him a ponytail, we're good.
And then Emma and Ezra go away, pretty much.
Yeah, she's got her bags.
I do like the lines they say. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know what we'll need.
What are you talking about? We're going to heaven. You can't take it with you.
The hell I can't.
So they go to heaven, pretty much.
Everybody else who's also trapped there goes to heaven. You see the little spirit balls float up.
Except Madame Leota for some reason. I guess she's just trapped in there.
I know, like if I was her head, I'd be like, oh, what? I'm still trapped in this? Fuck! God damn it!
And for your punishment, Madame Leota, you get to spend the rest of your life with Eddie Murphy now.
Yeah.
This is years before he did Dolomite.
And they also take the swimming pants. And they go to the lake.
I do like the song they do, though. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Anywho, so that's a haunted mansion.
There you go.
Holy shit, was this bad?
Seriously, when I keep watching this movie, I keep pausing here and then I complain about like half a minute.
It takes us at least 20 hours just to watch the movie.
It's just like.
So, you actually brought something up to me that actually was kind of cool. You said, what if we did our own version of the Haunted Mansion? And what would you do that'd be different?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of things to cut from this.
Cut the kids because they don't add anything, obviously.
Like the kids, boot.
Boot them. They don't need them, pretty much.
Eddie Murphy, boot. Don't need him.
Shitty CGI effects?
Boot.
In fact, why even have it as a live action film?
Why have it live action? Could you imagine if this was done in an animation?
That would be pretty cool, actually.
That would be so much cool.
I know.
And then you wouldn't have to get all those shitty effects.
Pretty much. But nope, we had to have the shitty live action crap.
So tell us, would you like us to do something like that?
Maybe. Just send your ideas. What would make it a better movie, pretty much?
Put your comments down below so we can read them.
Totally. But overall, final thoughts on the film.
I will admit, when I was a kid, I liked this. But now as an adult, I see lots of problems.
We were dumb as kids, weren't we?
But hold on. Even with its problems, I still like it.
We're good.
Yeah.
Why though?
Even with its problems, if you got rid of a lot of these problems, it still has an interesting movie. And most of the characters in these are actually pretty okay, except for, the obvious ones.
Yeah.
And they could have done so much with this, and I saw a lot of potential in this, but it didn't go anywhere, or they just didn't do it at all.
It's weird.
So, again, I still like it, and it brings back nostalgic moments for me.
I did hear a rumor that they were planning on making like a animated remake of this in a way, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I think they canceled it. So a part of me kind of wishes that they actually still stuck back. That would be pretty cool. Because as it is, I think Haunted Mansion is the wrong movie for the wrong time. Maybe if they released it at a bit of a better time, because both Eddie Murphy and Disney were a bit of a slump in their career at this point, pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, as it stands, there are some elements I do like. I love Terrence Stamp in it, obviously, because I'm a huge Terrence Stamp fan.
Oh, and Wallace, of course.
And Wallace Shawn, of course. I always love, like, some of the cast at least tries, but there's so much tedious shit we have to go through, pretty much.
Like, the wife, if you're gonna have, like, some of the plot, most of the plot,
It'd be based around her?
it'd be based around her, because she's a main thing in this movie, but...
I actually honestly forgot she was in the movie half the time.
Like, every time the wife showed up, it's like...
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, you're here.
I totally forgot.
I do like Gracie.
Even though
He's good. He's way too cheerful, though, for somebody who committed suicide.
You'd think so, anyways.
Like, if you had him maybe a little more depressed looking,
And maybe only spark up when he's talking to Sarah, that'd be pretty cool.
you could do that. Like, everybody else, he does not give a fuck about.
And speaking of which, maybe actually involve the ghosts in your ghost movie.
And also, like, maybe lean towards some of the more, like, racist tones that were, like, obvious.
Well, don't lean too much into it.
Not like too much. I don't mean it, like be on, like, full, like, thing.
Like, not Django Unchained levels of racism.
No, I mean, like, the more subtle ones that they were hinting at.
Exactly. And maybe, I don't know, if it is a horror movie, be scary!
It was for kids, too.
I know, but even there are even some horror films for kids that are pretty good.
Like the ones from the 80s.
Exactly.
Those scared the shit out of me.
So, I'm just gonna say, if I had to rate this film, like I say, it had potential, but it fucked it up pretty much. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10 for me.
For me, I see a lot of potential that it could have done as well, but the effects, some of the characters, parts of the plot, and again, just potential.
Mm-hmm.
I will be more fair to it and gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
That's only because I really loved this as a child.
Okay. Well, thank you folks for seeing our review of the Haunted Mansion. And if you would like, you can check out more of our stuff on both World Builder Studios here or Silversmith Productions, pretty much.
And you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and I think we have Twitter.
I believe we have Twitter.
Yeah, we have Twitter.
We don't really use it a whole lot, but yeah. But if you also want, you can make sure to like and subscribe and share this with your friends, pretty much.
And don't forget, since it's a spooky season, you know what's coming up.
Halloween, so get prepared for some more spooky stuff coming right at you.
And until then,
We'll see you later.
bye.
Goodbye. Okay, let's go get some cookies.
Let's get cookies. I want cookies like the ones in that movie.
Me too, I'm hungry.
Rolling?
Angels in heaven together at last. The tale is well ended for those who have passed. Love endures all, no reason, no rhyme. It lasts forever and forever all time. Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed this spooky review, because there will be more coming your way very soon. If you have any other things you'd like us to review, please leave a comment down below. Until then,